Here we are, ladies and gents. It has been a month of content. Thank you to Microsoft. Thank you to all the viewers, all the players that have prepared and practiced crazy strategies that we're probably about to see here. This is the first semifinal in Wandering Warriors Cup. Dowd is in the blue, playing Bohemians, and then Vinchester not too far away in the red, playing as the Poles, Dave. And this is a first for us. We have not seen this matchup yet in the later stages as a whole,
Yep.
and we definitely have not seen this matchup on game one Nomad.
So Vinchester, I believe, the only player in the tournament to actually play poles, I think, and he's played them 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
It's Vinchester. There's something about him in this Civ, and he's actually, to start off this game here against the Bohemians, he's docked the center pond, and this pond is bigger than the pond Yo had yesterday, but it only has 3 fish, Tristan. So Vinchester is gonna have to figure something out, or maybe move his fish at some point, because that one in the middle is not going to last very long. But fortunately for him, his build order with the poles, I think largely revolves around a fast castle. So he'll have safe fish for a while, and then he can reposition on the outside.
Yeah, it's a very good point. I think if he was with Italians, which we won't see today, but just for example, obviously he'd want to compete for water. We'll see what Vinchester does when he realizes. You could always make a second dock on the outer ring later on. Doubt stock is pretty good though. It's a bit weird. This is actually another version where we have a landlock.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very tiny landlock over near Doubt's dock. Uh, his starting dock though is still fine, and of course he could always expand his fishing ships down towards the south. But what do you think about the player positions? Because they're not right next to each other. So they're far enough away where they might not even realize. But I feel like they're close enough where any player who's thinking of a castle drop could benefit.
Yeah, I think the thing for me, though, is that the Poles will likely get their castle first, I believe, because Poles don't have to send villagers to gold. They don't have to do any market shenanigans if he wants to go for an FC. He will just have
Yeah.
villagers on stone, and they will gather a little bit of gold while they're there. And he's going to factor that into his build order. And I think if Vinchester gets a good castle down, he can maybe range Doubt's TC. The question for me comes, when Vinchester has the castle down, what does he make to counter Bohemians? It's probably not going to be Obuk, because Bohemians seem like they have answers to that unit.
Yeah, it's a good point. I think right now my big takeaway is Doubt is doing a really good job of scouting the shoreline. And we saw in sets yesterday where I think Viper was the best example of it. He was able to realize pretty quickly that Yo was not docked on the outer ring.
Yep.
And instead of going for the fast feudal play into trying killing fish that was not there, he went fast castle himself. So I think for Doubt right now, the worst case scenario would be if he wouldn't realize where Vinchester's docked and then just go for fast feudal, because going fast feudal will do nothing for him on water, and that could lead to Vince just walking forward, as we said.
Question marks here early for Doubt as he's kind of stalled out for food. He had a little bit of idle TC time. Hasn't pulled the boar in. I think he's going to pull one of them in. He could see 2, but one of them went back into the darkness, so he should have a decent start. But still, spent the time pushing that deer in. Little bit of idle TC, and now I switch over to Vinchester's point of view. His scouting is not so great yet, but he does see another boar, and he has one already under his TC, so he should have a pretty good start.
Yeah, he's going to find another one in the north as well. I think both players will be okay in this regard. Vince surely has noticed at this point that this pond is not very big.
It's nothing, man. Like, he
Yeah.
doesn't even know where the... Luckily for him, the shoreline extends a little bit, but from what he
Yeah.
sees, the shoreline could very well just stop right there. At least he sees 2 fish. He's going to know not to overmake fishing ships in that pond. Well, he makes a 5th one, actually, just to get himself rolling at the start, I guess. But he's going to have to dock the outer edge. Unfortunately for him, Doubt Stock is the farthest away from his base possible. And his turkeys are going to have to loop a long way around to find that if he wants to go for some water pressure. I think from what I've seen from Vinchester so far, though, early water pressure isn't a necessity with this build.
Yeah, it's not. And I love how Vinchester just chose a Civ where he didn't have to try it. Like, I feel like so many players in this tourney, and I was a good example of it. I was like, okay, I got to fight water. And so I just, like, tried, even though I suck at it.
Yeah.
So I feel like he just chose a Civ and said, okay, I'm not going to have that focus at all. And as he's looking for more fish here, Dave, there's just one more for him. Yeah, I appreciate that from Vinge. He is actually sending a villager towards Doubt right now, though. And he might run into Doubt's TC if he's not careful.
Ooh, Vinchester. There might be a house there to warn him. Oh, he stops right before it. He stops right before the house. If he goes a little bit to the right and then dips back into Doubt's TC, he won't see that house. Okay, he saw it there. So he's going to have a heads up on where Doubt is, and that's unlikely to be a house from the Dock Villager. That's got to be the TC, and I think Doubt... Well, he saw the Ibex moving around, and I think he might have caught sight of that one villager from Vinchester. He's sending a villager of his own out now.
I think he's going to try and find the middle. I think, look at his scouting on the shoreline.
Oh, he can see everything,
I think
man.
he's going to try and get a dock up in the middle because he believes that that's where Vinch has his fish. So this is so good from Doubt. He sees literally every piece of shoreline on the outer ring 10 minutes in.
There's only
he didn't
two
even
spots.
know the water was there.
Yeah, there's only 2 spots. I think actually only 1 spot that Vinchester could be in the north, and Doubt's going to assume he's not there because the turkey wasn't taken, and he's going to scout this middle, and he's indeed going to find Vinchester's dock, and he's going to be up to the feudal age in a minute here. This is fantastic scouting from Doubt. Oh my goodness.
Also,
really
what's amazing from
prioritizing.
Doubt is how he added extra fish throughout this. So he's at 7. I think your typical build would be like maybe 4, maybe 5. So I think what Doubt's plan is to obviously add fires in the middle.
Yep.
That'll be a problem for Vinch. And then also add an additional dock down towards the south. He's kind of building up towards that. So you
Vinchester
can just add more fish.
needs a boar, and unfortunately for him, the only boar near his base is north at the top there, and he can't actually see that. So he's going to struggle a little bit for food income, but fortunately, I think if you have to look at the bright side here, Doubt is going double dock on the middle, and all of the fish are gone.
Yeah. I guess Doubt doesn't see a lot of this, right? So Doubt doesn't know. I mean, he could put 2 and 2 together, but he's focused, and yeah, he's going to clear out the fish no problem here. The sad thing is, it's not like he can really win water and then just fish himself with these docks, because there's maybe 300 food left. Maybe 500, actually, with 2 shore fish.
Tristan, he doesn't see the gold to the right, and he's taking that gold forward. If Vinchester manages to get up to Castle Age with a castle forward, Doubt does not see any other golds near him. He's missing the one. He's missing the one right to him. So, this could be really bad for him.
Well, I'm just wondering, will Doubt think to stonewall? Because if your opponent isn't fighting water and they're poles, if Doubt realizes what this could be, he can just stonewall the chokes, which is something we've seen so commonly against Spanish and Portuguese, other castle drop civs.
Even a palisade wall would work. It just delays them, right? And then they have to drop the castle on the palisade wall or try and batter their way through, and battering their way through is going to waste so much time. Vinchester is just ignoring the fires for now. He's like, I need that extra 22 fish. Get me the food. And he's going to drop off some food to his dock, and his resources actually looking decent here. Still has villagers on berry, has some on the turkeys. So he should be okay to use the market a little bit and get his way up to the castle age. He's even fishing the shorefish now. Doesn't want to contest this at all. Just wants to fish a little bit there. And did he queue up another fishing ship? Where is it? Oh, it's in the dock in the south.
But Dave, I think this is a mistake because he knows there's a Vill down there from Doubt. He spotted the Vill a moment ago. You can kind of see in his fog that Doubt had walled in a Vill. So he actually cancels the fishing ship. I think he's going to maybe think about fires. And now he sees the Vill, and Doubt notices.
Wow.
And Doubt, you do not want to fight Polish Vills, dude.
Yeah.
You do not want to fight Polish Vills. This is something you should think twice about.
I don't think Vinchester was interested in walling his Vill in there and having a villager battle because the fire galley could come along. He just wanted to wall it in for Doubt, but there's a galley here. Vinchester taking that fight very confidently with poles, and he's going to lose his villager anyway. So Doubt has cleared up the fish. He's killed a villager. However, he's not on the way to Castle Age yet, and Vinchester is making his way there. And now Vinchester is coming forward with an outpost. So he's going to be able to see Doubt's base here. He'll probably spot the TC, might spot the gold. No, he doesn't see any of that, but he sees villagers around.
I think Doubt should outpost right in front of this outpost. And if he sees a castle, just prep to tower it. But again, stonewalling this would have been the perfect move.
Vinchester
and then he'd be fine
-2.
as he kills a Vill.
TCs can't really hit anything.
Why do TCs do no damage nowadays? There we go.
Good gates by Doubt. I mean, they weren't really necessary, but I like it. It proves his reaction times are on point today. and he goes for the barracks there, and here comes Vinchester, and this is what I was worried about. This is
Now
what
make
I
an
was worried
outpost.
about.
Make an outpost. You have to be able to see this, Doubt.
Make a
Using
outpost.
Oh my god, dude. This is so similar to what Vinchester did against Capwatch. And remember, Capwatch could have denied it. Okay, now Doubt sees this. So fight with some of your Vills and tower with the other Vills here, Doubt.
And Vinchester should probably send more to get this castle up. He's towering right there. This could be a fail here for Vinchester. He's going to engage against a villager war against the Poles. Normally, you wouldn't want to do that, but Doubt is adding spearmen now. Vinchester needs to cancel this foundation. He went for the monastery. Now he's getting a monk out, and Doubt is going to be able to stop this.
Yeah, and Vinchester also pulled all of his Vills off stone. So if he were to delete this, he wouldn't actually have the stone to be able to build a castle again. So not only is the forward castle way too bold, not only has this not worked, he actually can't just fall back and build it defensively. This is awful for Vinch. Way too ambitious, Dave.
He did lose a villager there, and Vinchester's villagers are healing themselves, and Doubt is now in the castle age. Vinchester deletes that foundation. Doubt was not on stone. He's going for a monastery right now. He's going to expand his fishing economy a little bit, and he looks to be in a really good position here. Vinchester is going to have to bring some more stone in and then get a castle in an undesirable location.
Can we talk about how the monk just dropped off a relic in the monastery?
Yeah, in the forward.
Nothing?
Yeah,
Yeah,
monastery. Yeah.
Also, Vinch has water control in the south. He actually popped out of that dock, and Doubt has realized that, so I think that will be okay. But I just like how Vinchester didn't forget about that.
The problem
really
for
smart
me
move.
here, I think, is Vinchester's food economy. Because if he wants to expand, if he wants to boom a little bit once this castle is up, or if he wants to make any units, it's going to have a problem. He's running out of berries now. He's only got one turkey under the TC. He'll need to invest into War Galley if he wants to continue to fight on the water. That's going to cost food. And yeah, he's selling stone now. So he's not going for that castle right away. He's going for extra TCs.
Doubt actually adding scouts now because he's thinking a lot of monks might come. But Doubt's probably feeling good about this as the monk brings in another relic. Such a weird move. And yeah, Vinch is just... He's not even walled behind the monastery, but he's faked Doubt out, and so he's just going to boom. And this makes me think back to what Vinch did against Capwatch. But remember, Vinchester actually completed the bold castle, and then he kind of stopped production of military, and then he boomed. So I feel like just trying to snag relics and add TCs right now is just asking for trouble in most cases.
I think it's just pure adaptation right now because he couldn't get that castle down, and he realizes, like, what's the use of a castle within the range of my own base? I'm probably not going to be going to Obuk production right away. I don't have the food economy for that, so I'm just going to boom up a little bit. Try and add some sneaky fish north of my town center, which I think is a great move. That's going to have to loop around there and try and get the villager lead. He's even getting heavy plow. Had to probably buy food for that. But with the Poles, with heavy plow, once he starts dropping farms, he will get food right away, which will let him boom up.
This is where I think you've got to consider that castle. I like the 3 TCs. I think that, doing this is a bit sneaky. But the second Doubt starts coming forward with monks and military, you've got to think you have nothing except a couple spearmen and a monk. So you've got to drop that castle soon. And also, as you mentioned, get the farms around the Folwark, which is the whole focus of the Poles.
Okay, spearmen being converted here. Big plays from both players, converting the weakest feudal age unit. Let's go.
It's not the army comp I thought we would see when I saw this matchup. And there's the castle that I think this castle goes up.
You know what?
But it will be awkward.
Yeah, it's a pretty good position. Like, it protects the gold. It kind of protects the push into this economy from Vinchester. And he's got a monk himself. And if he gets a scout, then he can take out the monks from Doubt. So Doubt's got to be careful about that. Doubt cannot deny this.
Yeah, but this is really good work from Doubt. He's chasing back the monk, running around with his scouts. The scouts now on the villagers. And remember, Doubt is 14 on food. And Doubt's on the second TC behind this. So Doubt has transitioned his eco much better than Vinch. And I think, like, if Vinchester gets that castle down, if he just backs it up a little bit, Doubt was not 100% prepared. I think it would have changed the whole game. And look, he's even planning on making farms behind this. He does have another Folwark. Castle does complete, and Doubt doesn't get out of there with his monks. That was a little sloppy.
Yeah, Doubt did get 2 vills, so it's basically 2 extra villager kills, which will expand his lead a little bit. 44 vills to 39. Doubt's adding a 3rd TC. I think Vinchester now should probably just commit to the boom. Like maybe even
Yeah,
add another TC. Look at the amount of food he has in the bank now. He went from 0 to 400 just because of pulls.
Yeah, and he's on 3 TCs, so expect his eco number to spike compared to Doubt's as he just adds his 3rd TC. Doubt is adding another dock towards the south. I'd like to see him do that more on the right side as well. I think that's a really smart move. And I like the Gillnet's tech. I think it's important.
Still hasn't found the dock from Vinchester. He's got a fire ship waiting by the wall over there, but he hasn't found the extra fish. Still 3 fish, not that much compared to the farmers and the farms that Vinchester keeps dropping. Doubt's economy, though, will continue to be ahead. And like you said, Doubt will have access to those fish. And he's stonewalling on the right side, too. So Doubt wants to take this late game. Late game compositions between these two. You favor the Bohemians?
I was thinking about that. Honestly, I feel like they complement each other really well. Because if Poles go for Knights, you then have Bohemians with their extra bonus damage Spearmen. But then if Bohemians go for Spearmen, the Poles have the Obuk. But then I circle back to Bohemians having Gunpowder.
Yep.
And after you say Bohemians have amazing Gunpowder, Poles don't have a really big thing that like stands out to me. So yeah, I would say I favor the Bohemians. And I also think I favor the Bohemians when it comes to the type of game this is likely going to be. What is Doubt doing with his scouts right now? But this is going to be a choke point game, Dave. And if this is a choke point fight with castle drops and trebs and whatnot, you definitely favor Bohemians.
Yeah, and Doubt's going for the first castle now. He's walled to the right of that. He's going for a castle there. He's going to have control over the pond in the center as well, so he can maybe go for water control lately. And he's already expanding out to the left side. I want to see Doubt scouting. Oh my god, look at his map exploration. Sees everything.
The 2 scouts paying off. He actually converts a Vil and will now dock the north, which is actually huge. If he can get fishing up there, it could be good. And he's going to try and run away with this monk. I don't think the monk will make it.
Yeah, there's no way. He's burning. He's burning. And
conversion there for Vinch.
Saves the monk, too. Saves the monk. So it's a good recovery from Vinchester. The economy, I mean, if there's one thing with Poles, Tristan, like an unintentional byproduct of them, you never get T90 farms because you're always paying attention to exactly where you're placing the farms, which makes your economy very efficient.
Did you have to describe it in that way?
Everyone knows what a T90 farm is by this point.
All right.
You can't get away from it.
So this seems like a really weird way to separate the players, but Vinchester clicked in behind a whole villager and Doubt did not. That's the difference right now. That's the 30-second difference. Obviously, Doubt has the eco, but he hasn't gone for chemistry yet. You can research chemistry in Castle Age, but I'd like to see Doubt research chemistry so we can get that out of the way. That way, opening bombard cannons is an option for him.
I would love to see Vinchester has a monastery further back with 2 relics, and he's got 2 relics forward. He's done a fantastic job gathering the relics so far. I would love to see him transport those back, and I think that's exactly what he's going to do right now. Very smart play from Vinchester. He goes for a siege workshop of his own. He gets handcart as well. 2nd siege workshop on the way with his stable. I think the only thing right now Vinchester needs to do is control that right or left side of the map, and he's trying to do it with a castle right now. Because I'm looking at the gold spots, and there's 3 golds available over there, and a stone, which is basically gold for the Poles.
I think Doubt needs to wall that. As I said, I don't think expanding is really what Doubt wants in this matchup. So I think stone walling, as he's now going to be attacked by Spearmen. So this is a sign of things to come, though it probably won't be Spearmen. Just wall this up, Doubt. Wall it up and forget about it so you can push up the gut.
Now, Doubt's getting chemistry already, which is great with Bohemians. You can get chemistry before you get to Imperial Age, which means just immediate bombard cannons or hand cannoneers, just like the Turks. And he's going to have a push right when he hits there. Immediately queues up, hand cannons, goes for a treb. He has still 24 fishing ships. And Vinchester, I guess the question would be, what is the response from him? He went siege workshops, but he's never going to be able to really fight siege versus siege against Bohemians.
Well, he's going to try. He has monk upgrades coming in, so maybe thinking he can convert enemy bombard cannons, and then he also is getting chemistry. So Dow might actually, and this would be good for Vinchester. Dow might actually push the castle on the left first, though,
Mm-hmm.
because he sees that and is clearly worried about that.
No, he's sending a
Uh,
Treb on a wild mission. Maybe. Oh,
no,
okay, good. I thought he like set the waypoint over to the left and the Treb was going
yeah,
all the way around the pond.
I did too.
He's actually pushing that castle. And this could be a
I like
hard
it.
defense here for Vinchester. This is a weird place to fight.
The thing that's good for the possibilities here for Vinch all come down to his economy and how cheap his cav is. But I haven't seen the Sriracha privilege upgrade research yet. And I haven't seen Cavalier be the option for him. So it kind of looks like he wants to go winged Hussar. And, Doubt just needs a couple barracks to mix in spears. He's not doing it yet. But Bohemian Spearmen are no joke. We talk a lot about OP things with Bohemians. But getting additional bonus damage on Spearmen, which already have insane bonus damage, is pretty strong here.
I feel like Vinchester is using these castles to just buy himself enough time to get all the techs that he needs. Because,
Yeah.
like, techs have been flying in from him. His economy is looking decent. He's got 96 villagers, but he definitely needs time. Doubt already with a bombard cannon there, already with 3 trebs, second bombard cannon on the way, and hand cannoneers. Oh, my goodness. Doubt is playing amazing. And he's
And
pushing
Doubt
the
just
castle on the
needs-
left.
Yeah, Doubt just needs to make sure that if the monks start wallowing, he sacrifices hand cannons and not bombard cannons. If you don't lose your bombard cannons here, actually, you could, and you still have your trebs. But yeah, just run in hand cannons here. Even if you lose a couple of those, that's
Good fights
fine.
here for Vinchester, though. Good fights. He's got bomber cannons of his own, too. Teched into chemistry immediately. He's garrisoning the monks, kills a few more hand cannons with the castle. Really great stuff here from Vinch. And he's still pushing the bomber cannons back with his own bomber cannons. Gets a big shot on the cannons from Doubt, but Doubt splits away from that somehow. I thought they would all die. Still, the castle for Vinchester is down on the left side. And
Yeah,
on the right.
Throughout that, Vinch is only making bomber cannons, as he's going to lose one and potentially lose the second. Vinch wasn't making anything else, Dave. He's got all the food. He hasn't been able to spend it, and Doubt's pressure has gotten to Vinchester here. I think Vinchester's in big trouble here.
Yeah, you almost question whether Vinchester should have been teching into something like Winged Hussar or something behind that, just some sort of unit to spam with all that food. He goes for another castle in the north, being pushed back here. The siege army from Doubt is going to destroy all of these buildings, and Vinchester is badly housed. And he's going to continue to get housed. The Fulwark and the TC will be taken down.
Yep, loses a bombard cannon, and yeah, I love the approach from Doubt over the last couple minutes. He's lost a lot of hand cannons. The KD's not pretty in that regard, but he doesn't care because he has more in queue, and he just knows he needs to protect his siege and push up the middle. That's exactly what he's doing, and I think Vinchester just doesn't really know what to do now as we see crossbow.
Yeah, that market tells you everything for Vinch. That tells you the state of the game right there, and the fact he's building his archery range is up against the edge of the map. He did manage to kill both trebs on the left side with a bombard cannon. And he's got some villagers over there, but he needs to do something about this main army here. He's selling food now to get access to gold, and he's placing another TC over to the left. He's not buying himself enough time. The castle that he just built goes down.
Yeah, all the relics he collected obviously will be lost. Doubt can take those. And this is also giving Doubt time to tech switch into whatever he needs to deal with the next option for Vinch. I don't even think Arbalest with poles is really good at all. It's certainly not their best option, so I don't think Doubt will be worried there. But Doubt could go for barracks if he feels like he needs the help. He could always mix in his unique unit, which I think is pretty good against Arbs. Fortified wall? What the?
He's trying to
That
drag
has
it
to be
out.
a misclick.
What is
But
he
he's got one gate, dude. He's got literally one gate to upgrade with that.
Dude, he thinks it's like he thinks it's Red Bull Wallow. It's like, I'll just play it at the time limit.
I wonder, that must be a misclick or a hotkey issue. I don't know, but as
Does he
you have
actually get
Polish
this-
villagers,
This bombard cannon here, does he actually get it? 6 HP. They're doing 1 damage per. 3 HP left. Oh, the bombard cannon survives. She can't quite get it, and Vinchester calls the GG. And that was really well played from Doubt. I think the thing that enabled all of that was the amazing scouting at the beginning with his herdables, finding the dock in the middle, wiping up the fish, and he never looked back.
yes, but remember how questionable it was from Doubt to not wall or outpost that area? Like, with that choke point where the gates are now, if Vinchester doesn't try and build the castle in Doubt's face, If he builds it with one side up against the trees and makes 2 houses,
Hmm.
the castle's up, then Doubt's under pressure. Doubt wasn't on stone at that time. It's a very different game. So well played from Doubt to adapt to the situation. He denied a castle and was on the other side of that for once. But also Vinchester at this point has got to be kicking himself like, why? Why did I try and build a castle right next to his TC like that? What a game though, Dave. That was a really good game, and we kind of got to see why we prefer the Bohemians in this matchup
Hmm.
if the Poles don't take a stronger lead.
It's like, but the thing with Vinchester, the thing that I'm not super fond of with the Poles here with this strat is if you don't get the castle in a good location on your opponent's TC, you can't really put it back in your base. And you saw him go for TCs instead,
Yeah.
and then the castle later, because the unique unit isn't really something you want to make in early Castle Age. You're not going to
Yeah.
be able to range anything like the Hussite wagon would. You're not going to be able to really raid the economy. You're just going to run into the TC fire, and it's going to be very awkward, right? So if that fails, you have to fall back on that boom, and your opponent's going to have a better boom because they won water.
That is why Civ drafts are so important, because I doubt Vinchester ever expected to see Bohemians here. We've seen Bohemians on Inundation and other maps. He never got to see Doubt play Bohemians on previous maps. So Vinchester was probably hoping for something like Poles versus Japanese again, or
Mhm.
there's some matchup where maybe the Obuk makes sense. But the Obuk does not make sense in this situation. And again, well played, Doubt. And let's go to the Civ draft now and see what Vinch might have in store for us. Vinchester has Grapple, Dave, and he's got Golden Hill. And in terms of Grapple civilizations, he's got some good ones. He's got Byzantines, which we've seen a lot. And I haven't seen Burgundians yet, but I kind of feel like Burgundians have an opportunity there because we've seen players get to 150 villagers on that map a
Mhm.
lot. And then if he goes Golden Hill, we've seen Portuguese pick there frequently. Ironically, also Byzantines, and then maybe Malay would be an option for him there. Not too sure on
And
that.
then
What
we
do you
look.
what do you think about Doubt Civs?
Well, Doubt Civs, we see Celts there, which you used on Grapple, and you believe
Mhm.
are a good Civ there. Also, Aztecs. I don't know where he's going to use those. The Aztec game yesterday from Capwatch, maybe not the best example.
Yeah.
Matched up against a really rough civilization in Byzantines, so I'm not sure. Koreans are great for Golden Hill if you stick to your win conditions, which Doubt is really good at doing. And then, of course, Indians for Grapple are also fantastic. And then he has Mayans, and I guess the only question for me is Compass if Doubt gets there. What civ
Yeah.
is he going to use on that?
That's a good point. Maybe he goes Celts there, honestly.
Maybe.
Yeah, because his civs look good. He just won with Bohemians. Yeah, I'm liking how Doubt drafted so heavily towards his opponent's home maps, though. This is not the first time he's done this. When he played Miguel, and I forget it with Velez, to be honest, but with Miguel, I know for certain, his first 2 civ picks were for his opponent's home maps, which is fascinating. So he went Indians, which is probably Grapple, and then he went Koreans, which is probably Golden Hills. So interesting outlook on drafting. And again, a situation where if a GL player is in the right position on the draft,
Mhm.
they will always ban Chinese. We've not seen a GL player in 2 straight rounds, or maybe even 3 at this point, uh, play against Chinese because they're either banning them or picking them first, which is crazy.
I think this is one of the only drafts where I haven't seen Mongols anywhere on the board as well.
True.
Granted, the maps here don't really enable good play with the Mongols, but still, it's an interesting note because they've been very prevalent throughout this tournament.
Good point, Dave. I'm ready. Game 2 then. When you are, we'll get this started. And this is a matchup, if this tournament would go on for another couple weeks, that we would see more and more of, I feel. Especially Koreans, man. We've seen Koreans like every single Golden Hill game this weekend.
Yeah, and it's clear that some players can really play to their strengths and other ones just kind of struggle with the strategy, right? And the timings.
Yeah, true.
I'm ready to
True.
go, though, at 10 seconds, if you want to do the countdown.
All right, 3, 2, 1, and go. Here we are.
It's
Doubt
so
looking to get another win.
like I know we've seen them a lot on this map, and there's always going to be people that get tired of civs and whatever, but it's so nice to see Koreans be an A-tier civilization in tournament settings, you know?
Yeah.
Because for
yeah.
many years they were just a meme if someone picked them. Like they've always
Yeah, and-
been somewhat decent on Nomad, but it feels like they've really come into their own with these maps.
Yeah, and truthfully, I think it comes down to the Civ settings too, right?
Mhm.
Because in the earlier rounds, we saw Persians picked a lot, Malians picked a lot here. So no Persians, no Malians, no Italians. And then what was the other one? What am I missing? No, Spanish.
Spanish. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, just that alone, you cross off a few civs, and then suddenly you get to see a bit more of a mix. And players have to be more creative. Speaking of, can Vinchester take that shorefish if it's covered by a reed?
Well, he can chop the reed and put a palisade over it, right?
Yeah, as long as he can, then he'll be good there. That would be really unfortunate if he wasn't able to do that. He's got his dock up, and then Dowd, of course, going for his dock. And he did the same thing yesterday, I think, with his dock in the middle.
So TC spots here. Dowd's TC, obviously fantastic. It's on the berries. It's on the wood line. He's going to love that one. Vinchester's TC, pretty good on 2 wood lines, and he has the deer there. So he's really fortunate to have the deer there. He's going to have to go out exploring, though. Could probably find a couple pigs or sheep, nearby, and then use those to find the boars. And the boars aren't actually that far away. There's 2 boars quite close to the north. He just has to make sure to find them. And then we look at Dowd's island. He's got a boar to the north there, and he's got some boars over to the south as well, but they're quite far away. Still, he has Koreans, so he should be able to find them.
Yeah, and we've seen some pretty unlucky gens for players, even yesterday in the quarters, and players were able to bring in their boars. You just have to do the nomad thing, and you have to stop collecting resources with a Vil and go out and look. And this tourney's been a lot about adapting, not necessarily in the game, but sometimes before the game if you don't get a Civ you want. And I think the players will be fine here. But what do you think about Portuguese, Dave? I mentioned that we've seen them before. I think it was Leary who maybe went for them, but they definitely haven't been seen as frequently here as the Koreans.
How well did Caravel do against Turtle Ship? Turtle Ships have a lot of armor.
Well, I haven't been totally convinced with turtles so far. I feel like just going into fires can kill them. But to answer your question, I think Caravels do really bad against turtles.
Okay.
I think, and also isn't kind of the whole point of a Caravel to like pass through one ship and hit another? And so I think that if that's the case, you're never going to see more than like 2 turtles.
Yeah, turtles are pretty chunky.
Yeah.
And Dowd's going to find the sport. So Dowd is going to have a really good start here. He was already on berries there. Only 7 seconds of idle TC time. Vinchester racking up a little bit of idle TC time right now, trying to get that food in. But Dowd is going to have a great start. What did he go for again yesterday? He didn't play Koreans here, did he?
Trying to remember. I remember Leary sat back with Portuguese. And no, I think Dowd had Koreans. Yeah, and I think he went... No, was it Dowd that had Indians?
Oh my God!
They're all running together.
We're so old, dude.
yesterday.
We can't even remember what happened yesterday.
Okay, no. It was Vinchester who won on this.
Dowd had Koreans on Nomad. That's right. How could I ever forget that? Less wagons than his opponent. Yeah.
Process of elimination. We're doing this. But anyways, Vinchester had Indians here, and I remember he just outplayed his opponent, and that was pretty much it. But to answer your question on what you do with Koreans, I think regardless of how you approach this, whether it's fast castle or fast feudal into water, you have to have some vision on the middle. So when he goes out for golds, I would like to see him take the gold in the middle, have an outpost out there. And on the flip side, I think Vinchester should do the same thing. So we could see some real craziness in the middle here with 4 or 5 villagers in feudal age.
Vinchester finding those sheep. Now he's going to start exploring. I think Vinchester... A lot of your strategy on this map depends, if you're going for a faster rush or whatever, it depends on whether you have food access. And look at him even taking those shorefish. He knows, like, I just need food income. I know it's going to be terribly inefficient for my villagers to walk all the way back from those, but he keeps sending villagers out there. He's got sheep exploring, and he sees the boars, so he's going to be able to bring that in. Good little bit of adaptation from Vinch here to, you know... sacrifice the walking time there just to get the food economy rolling.
Yeah, Dowd with a bit more food in the bank does have 4 fishing ships right now. We've actually got more than that for Vinch. Vinch is on 5. Also, Vinch's dock spot is way better. Who knows if he'll stay here forever, but the 3 deep fish there is looking real good for him. Had his deer, brought in the deer. This would be a really bad time to accidentally shoot the boar with your TC.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah. But he's going to be okay. That's 300 food that comes in. Still has the deer there remaining. But Dowd, with a crazy uptime. I mean, we've seen some fast uptimes, but with Koreans having no food bonuses or anything, this is a lightning fast uptime for him.
I think it was a good spot and it was a good build, right? He found the boars pretty quickly. He had the
Yep.
TC on the berries, so he was able to take some of that early. And he had the fishing ships out fast. So great stuff there from Doubt. He's going to be up significantly faster than Vinchester. And I think with an uptime like this, you can fully justify the galley play from the Koreans.
He's going to add a dock here. And you know what, Dave? I'm liking Galley with Koreans more and more because if you go into fires and a fire v fire battle, you don't have demos. So you're just like kind of behind in that type of a battle. So opening galleys is always, well, not always, but it has seen to be strong if you're fast or feudal. And I like it for Doubt here. So we'll see what he chooses to do.
Vinchester now on the way up, and Vinchester already going for the gold in the middle. So we saw that from other players. Some players choose to put a mining camp on their gold on their own base, like Doubt has right now. And others decide to go to the middle right away. It is a risk, because if you get involved with a tower war in the middle there, you will not have villagers on gold to produce the ships that you need. And Doubt is indeed opening with galleys here. He's going for that third dock. Vinchester now going for a dock closer to Doubt's. But I think with this uptime and with these dock positions, Doubt should be able to win water here with some good micro and production.
Now, with Doubt's build order, yes, he's faster to galleys, but the only 4 he's had on food has been those fishing ships. That's it. For Vinch, he was still finishing up the boar. He's still got some deer coming in. And we might even see Vinch consider, as a lot of players do, making a mill on shorefish. So we really do have to think about, the is it worth it conversation. As Doubt has 4 fishing ships against 6 right now, and he's probably going to get some kills, but he has to make sure that he can also have a good castle each time behind all this.
And Doubt's going to see the villagers on the middle from Vinchester. Doubt's actually sending, he doesn't care. He's sending the Vill past that. Maybe wants another dock here. He's going to make a tower on that
That's actually
gold.
a really good tower.
It's going to be a very annoying tower because it can range to the gold out of the range of Vinchester's tower, and it can also kind of help you a little bit on water too if you pull back to it. So,
and Vinch doesn't see it, Dave.
Yep.
He doesn't even know what's going up. I mean, he can always make a new mining camp on another gold, but that preemptive tower for Vinchester's looking pretty bad right now.
Yeah. Vinchester does have enough wood to make a new mining camp, but Doubt's got himself in a little bit of a rough position here with these galleys. Kind of wedged in between, but good micro from him. Vinchester pulls back the ship and will repair it. Doubt just building up his galley numbers right here. Really impressive start from the Lord.
I really like Vinch's position. He brought in boar number 2. He's got villagers on shorefish. His food income should be good. Maybe just bracing himself for the fact that it's very possible he'll lose water soon.
Oh,
good
the tower,
dude,
too. The tower needed to be 1 tile closer. Look at that. Vinchester just taking it, completely unconcerned. But still, the galleys being attacked by the fire galleys, but Doubt with good micro.
You know what's concerning for Vinch actually is that he now has 3 on stone, thinking he needs more towers, and only 2 on gold. So he actually can't produce out of all of his docks. I'm just checking. Actually, is he only on 2 docks? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought he was on 3.
Yep.
And he's actually pressuring Doubt's fish right now. So take it back. Vinchester was really good adapting, and the galleys have yet to pay off.
I like the fact that he's making a few demo rafts. I think he's going to keep them garrisoned in the docks, and then if Doubt gets all clumped up nearby in these choke points, he's going to ungarrison them. I think he had one queued earlier that didn't do anything, but I love the fact he's looping around with the fire galleys, and I love the fact that his food eco is set up nicely. Like you said, Doubt's fish are the only things he's had for the beginning of Feudal Age. He's added a few more on food, on the berries, but his food count right now is not looking conducive to a faster Castle Age time.
No, and Vinch is almost finished with all of his fish, and he also is pressuring Doubt's fish as we speak with a few fire galleys. So Vinch has a tower in the middle, like we said. He's got some stone and gold access, and the only thing that the galley play typically does, Dave, is it stops the opponent from taking the middle.
Yeah.
But Vinchester's already in the middle, so I think advantage Vinch.
Yeah, and Doubt just loses 2 galleys there, but he's still got this main group. Vinchester, if he drops a market, he can go up. If he wants to, he has a market already. If he wants to sell his stone, he could buy his way up, but I think he's interested in keeping that for the time being. And he's still sending Vills across every time the galleys leave.
And like, look at this. So Doubt has to redock for 270 food when he has 6 in the bank. So he went all in on water. It's just, will it pay off in the long run? Obviously, he could upgrade this, right? Even if he's later to Castle Age, he could upgrade his navy. He will have his docks with the potential to make turtles. He could always, with water control, walk into the middle at any point in time. But there goes Vinch.
I think Doubt needs to start taking out the docks from Vinchester. Vinchester going for another dock forward. In the spot Doubt would least expect. Doubt is now trying to deal with the fire galleys on the right side, but Vinchester gets 2 kills on the galleys. And Vinchester can actually take back water with this faster Castle Age time because Doubt's lost his numbers. And Vinchester is going for a 3rd dock. He still has some units garrison in the dock in the center, and he's got another fire galley coming out in the north.
Pros and cons, Dave. Pros and cons. We talk about it so much. Fast feudal time. Yes. But how smooth this is going to be to Castle Age. Awful for Doubt. He was late to the food. He has our numbers, but the numbers didn't matter in the early stages. And he's got 3 docks now, Vinchester. And let's say he loses one, he will still be able to completely win water with fire ships. This is a problem for Doubt. I think Doubt needs to use his market. He's placing one now. Just buy some food and try and keep your numbers high for when you get to Castle Age.
I like how Doubt has this one villager in the middle just forming a ring of buildings. Like, it's traveled all the way around like 3 times now. And he can see exactly what Vinch is up to here.
I'm pretty sure that villager built the dock at the start.
No, it's built everything here. It's literally built an empire on the center. It looks like Boundary Brawl now.
That villager has lived a completely different life from every other villager.
Yeah.
Well, good job from Doubt to pressure the fires here from Vinch. Doubt actually made fires, I think, because they do a better job of taking out the docks. And Vinch is going to run away and wait for those upgrades. He's got a couple of his docks under fire right now, but he will be able to pop out.
He'll win
it's
water
important
here.
that Doubt has the numbers.
Yeah, Koreans without demo rafts is going to feel real bad in this situation because you're going to have to make fire galleys. You're going to have good micro with your galleys, but against the upgraded ships from Vinchester, one wrong move and you could lose all of those galleys in a second. And Doubt is losing the fishing ships now. He did buy his way up to Castle. It's going to be 2 minutes until he gets there. But I guess the question is, like, what's his situation going to look like as Vinchester pops out with his fires, and Doubt needs to run away with his galleys in the north, too.
You know what's so beautiful about this game? Look at the amount on food for Vinch now. So Vinch benefited from taking all that food earlier, but now he's kind of low, and Doubt's got all that food income. So, you know, if Doubt can keep his galleys massed, and he's got 90 seconds to do so, maybe, just maybe, he can still remain competitive on Water Day. But I think it's going to be tough. Vinchester with the sandwich.
Yep.
Uh-oh, Doubt. There's a demo.
Doubt. Oh, nice dodge there from 2 dodges from Vinchester. Doubt is trying to micro that demo down. Vinchester trying to get close with it. He manages to get the fire galley. So good micro from Doubt there to take it down. But there's still 5 galleys against 3 fire ships from Vinchester. So Doubt will likely lose this navy or he'll have to be running around forever. And Vinchester now with a castle in the middle. That villager will run away from Doubt. But what's the game plan here as Vinchester goes for a second TC? And he's already pretty much won the water at this point. Is it just going to be turtle ships?
Hey, I still think you can try and come back on water with this many docks. He's got like 4 in the middle. So I think you can go for the war galley upgrade your fire ships, and go fire ships and a turtle or 2. But Doubt's going to go siege workshop at home. I think this is actually in defense. He might be worried organ guns will come out of that castle. And
Double
he's adding
TC.
a TC and another TC. Yeah, so he's just going to boom up a lot here.
Yep. Resources, not too much gold in the bank. And of course, he's on a timer for his gold.
Yep.
Not really coming to play yet, though. He still has 2 piles there. Hasn't gotten the war galley upgrade. Hasn't queued up any turtle ships. He's just going for a Maginot.
Honestly, Doubt could get a pretty decent Vil lead here because Vinchester's food eco is not looking too hot.
Yep.
I like the stonewalling here from Doubt. What I'd like to see, and maybe it's too ambitious, but I would have liked to have seen him try and transport when he had the time and just get a couple Vils over to the other side.
Duity style?
Because, yeah, just Duity style it, man. Just make something happen. And who knows? Maybe you're lucky. Maybe you find some stone or find some gold or find some relics over there. But it's probably too late for him to do that now.
Demo on the shoreline. The Mangonel is looking for hits. Maybe it could get an engagement against that. 1 organ gun only. and a couple more queued from Vinchester. So he's interested in a more economy-focused game, not the YOLO 1 TC push with Organ guns. And like you said, Doubt might gain a little bit of a lead as he goes for his first turtle ship. One thing I love about Vinchester, he's made so many mills. He's got 3 on the right side, getting the shorefish. He's got 1 in the north as well. He TC'd on that shorefish. He's got another mill on the berries. Like, he's really keeping in mind the fact that he needs food to produce from his town centers. He's just not producing for some reason right now. Okay, queues up a few more.
You know how we always have those doubt moments where it's like only doubt would do or not do this? I would consider walling to the TC and not finishing it when you have the stone a doubt moment.
Yeah.
Like, I think he probably wants to place a castle there later on, but what's to stop Organ guns from walking right underneath that?
Absolutely
I mean,
nothing. There's one villager there on a farm. There's absolutely nothing
you
to
can't
stop
even
that.
garrison that TC, but I guess maybe since he had the siege there, he feels like the enemy has to respect it or something. I don't know.
Is Vinchester going up? He just bought food.
Looks like he might, Dave. He doesn't have any farms right now, so he's not investing into any long-term food eco. I think Vinch might go fast imp into some Fatorias here, actually.
Yeah, maybe. If you have middle control and Fatorias, like, that's pretty sick. Imagine insult to injury. Just add Fatorias on the middle instead.
Yeah. Doubt has lost so many houses.
Yeah, I was
He's
just
losing
thinking about
all
that.
the houses.
He's doing a good job remaking them, though, in his eco.
Yeah.
Great job there.
That's something. Doubt never gets housed. It's insane. Even if he's going to lose houses like that, you'd think that he'd get housed, but nope.
He's making an outpost on the shoreline in the north, which kind of tells me he might be thinking about redocking there, too. But he sees the fire ship patrolling. He's going to move back there. Vinchester with fire ships all over the place is doing a great job even patrolling that right side, too. Patrolling the middle, making sure Doubt doesn't redock anywhere. He can stall that out. And Vinchester is on the way to Imperial Age. Only 9 villagers behind, too. So in a really, really good position.
I love this strat from Vinch. Look, he's prepping the houses. He's definitely going Fatorius. So I was wondering if we would have seen this from Leary yesterday against Doubt. And Leary just kind of, I don't know if potatoed is the respectful word, but he just didn't know what to do with Portuguese, to be honest. And granted, it was a different situation, but Portuguese, the only civ in the game that can make the Fatoria. It's 250 stone and gold, and then it takes up 20 pop space, but gives you a trickle of all resources. So you don't really need to plan on farming eco if you're going to have enough food from the Fatorias. And yeah, look, there's houses everywhere for Vinch. He's definitely going to go for this.
Oh my god. And I think if Doubt wanted to counter this, he needed a villager on Vinchester's island. Yeah. And it's going to be really tough. Vinchester is just controlling the water. Vinchester can add caravels. He can add other navy to hold that. And he should be able to hold the center against Koreans as Doubt is running out of gold already. And I'd love to see Doubt even like early on in Imperial Age as he clicks up here, start selling food and wood if he realizes what's going on. Just try and get as much gold in the bank as possible because you're going to need it.
Look at Doubt's castle in comparison to Leary's castle yesterday against Doubt.
Yep.
When Leary was in this position. Leary went right up against the shoreline and got trebbed from the middle. Doubt is going to force those trebs to come pretty far forward if they want to take out this castle. And one final thing, Dave, is you need a university right now if you're Vinchester. You cannot forget about chemistry here because you want to go for like Treb's bomber cannons in the middle and even cannon galleons. So I think Doubt will get chemistry. He's got a university, and there's a chance here for Doubt if Vinchester forgets that or doesn't have the food for it.
Double Fatoria immediately from Vinchester. I wonder how much he builds at the end of the day. He's going for the university right now, only with 1 villager, though. Fatorias will be up. And the question marks here. Oh, Doubt made a dock in the north and the south. Or sorry, east and west, I should say. And he's trying to get back on water. Yeah. Vinchester has done a really good job. He realizes that he's going to stall himself out with these Fatorias in early Imperial Age, and he's going to need to deny all the docks from Doubt. But this is really smart from Doubt, going for towers there instead of a castle like we saw from Leary yesterday.
Also got a conversion, and he's going to add a turtle ship. Yeah, and Dave, it's just so cool to be able to watch and say, like, Doubt has corrected some aspects.
Yep.
Or not corrected some aspects of his game, but he clearly sees what to do in these situations a little better than some of the other players. But still, it's not like Doubt's going to win water anytime soon. And he needs a big push to push up the middle.
Well, Vinchester is investing. He's investing so much in these Pretorias. Like, look, he's got 4 of them already.
4 of them.
And he's already popped at 160. Needs to add some more houses, and that's pop he can't use as military. So Doubt has the opportunity to get more military on the field and push him back. This is a long-term strategy from Vinchester, and we just have to wonder if it's going to pay off as he also brings in the second relic too. Oh my god.
The thing is, so Korean towers outrange bombard cannons, okay? So if Dow can go for a tower here and get his ranged upgrades, how do you deal with that if you're Vinchester? Dow just got over there with the transport.
Yep.
And we've talked about Fatorias quite a few times on Island. But I think, as he's going to try Lightcap, that 4 Fatorias is too much. You already have the stone and gold. I think you need to be thinking about the pop space.
Yep. And like
and making units with the stone and gold.
Vinchester is going for a barracks here. He's going to go into a castle at home, but he needs to start thinking about units and unit compositions that are pop efficient.
Yeah.
And I think one of the big ones for Portuguese is getting Bombard Tower. If you have all these Fatorias set up and if you have all this stone in the center here, I think a few Bombard Towers in defense would go a long way. Or a castle.
No, I agree.
Which he's dropping right now.
I think the castle's the correct move. Yeah, get a castle down because you're going to have so much stone, right? To just prevent Doubt from raiding. And he's going to go for monks as well. I mean, he's still got the middle. He has a bomber cannon in the middle now. Doubt doesn't have water. Doubt's hoping that the side distraction is going to be enough so he can maybe go in the middle with his Trebs, Dave. He used 4 wonderfully against Leary yesterday. That's always the magic number for me. But also, the Lightcap, the Korean Lightcap, could go in and snipe that bomber cannon and the monks, and Doubt could actually start to push. So this is so tricky.
And Doubt is not trickle-trebbing. Doubt is waiting until he has enough, and he's waiting out until he has enough army. I think he realizes that he really has one push to do something
push
special.
In him.
Yeah, and you gotta have everything behind that push to make it work. You can't go in a couple units at a time. This is good from the Lightcap going forward. They killed the bomber cannon, took out a monk. But still, Vinchester, look at the resources from him on the right, folks. He's got 0 on food, but he's still gaining it. It's like Khmer Farms here.
I think Doubt needs to try the right. Before you ever go to the middle,
you
need to see if Vinchester's on the right and try and transport there too. Because that's actually the spot. You've got some open spaces there. But it's tricky because if you kill gold units from Portuguese here, you think, just because of how the game normally plays out, like, oh, that's great, I just killed gold units. But Vinchester has infinite gold units because of the Fatorias.
Doubt is adding more stables, and he's already at 5 trebs, Tristan. Doubt knows exactly what's going on here. He's got one shot, one opportunity.
Also, he just saved a batch of villagers that were in a transport ship in the north. He's got them chopping a tree now. Come on, Doubt. Try a little bit of transporting on the right. I would actually prefer to see him transport like 3 vills, 7 hussars. Because then you could deny any buildings, and we actually see a perfect castle for Vinch. I actually wouldn't mind seeing that closer to the shoreline, but still a really good castle spot just in case that happens.
Okay, Doubt pushing the bomber cannons back a little bit from Vinchester. Vinchester with 2 castles in the middle, 1 castle on each side of his island. So I think the potential to do damage and land on Vinchester's island is kind of stalled out here. And it's just all about this push down the middle. If Doubt can take the middle, he will have a chance against Vitoria. I think he needs more than this, though.
Well, Vinch does too. Vinch is pop-capped, pretty much. So, like, 6 organ guns, 4 bomber cannons, and a few monks dies to the worst hussars in the game if you're Vinchester. Like, this is really bad. This is why 4 Fatorias could be a problem.
And he's coming for a castle.
Right,
oh my god. And he's got 5 trebuchets following up behind this. He goes for the castle. Can't believe he would place that foundation that early, but he's got 3 bomber cannons hitting the castle from Vinchester too. And this is what we were talking about with pop efficiency. Doubt could make this push work with Korean Hussar.
He's going to do it, Dave. And he knows it too. He'll snipe the monks. The castle goes down. And he will have access to gold once again. What an incredible play from Doubt.
Here come the fire ships. Here come the fire ships. Doubt needs to run with the trebs, and he'll get away in time.
Meanwhile, behind this, Vinchester still has gold at home, but he really doesn't have a lot of resources. The problem with Fetorias is the resources they bring in is slow compared to Eco.
And now Doubt's gonna have
Wow.
tons of gold access. Man, he played that so well. So many
Perfect.
other players would have just gone forward with 2 trebs or 1 treb right away. Not much army behind it, and then kind of fizzled out, right? But Doubt,
Yeah.
amazing patience there to wait for the exact amount of army and then push up. And now he's got full control of this. He's going to take the 2 relics in the middle too. Vinchester will have a lot of resources. He'll have Fetorias behind this. He'll have castles to produce. But Vinchester was only at 86 villagers, and his food eco is not looking great either. So things are going to be rough.
Yeah, and I think at this point, if Doubt just adds docks and wins water, I think he wins the game. All the Fetorias can be ranged. He just doesn't want the fire ships to be able to disrupt his units as they run across. Like, think about this, Dave. Doubt didn't use a single Korean bonus to get that push forward. He's literally fighting with the worst Hussars in the game. Like, that makes that all the more impressive that he was able to make it happen.
And
Big bomber
Vinchester,
cannon shot there.
I think it was 1 Fetoria too many, maybe, for him. Save the res and maybe get some food eco rolling behind it. Don't count on holding the middle for that long. He's going to snipe a bombard cannon, so that's okay, I guess, but he's struggling to even afford stuff like bloodlines, to afford more cavalier. He's got some pikemen in the queue, 1 bombard cannon. Still hasn't gotten bombard tower research, so can't drop any of those. And wow, what a turnaround here. It was looking so good for Vinch. Doubt managed to get the position. Doubt is now in firm control of the middle, and Doubt can start adding towers here too, and he's already started.
Doubt has shown us how Wandering Warriors Cup is meant to be played. Like, we've seen so many amazing games from him on all the maps, from Mired to Game 1 Nomad to now Golden Hill. I can't be upset with this, man. I mean, I'm a little perturbed at Vinchester because I feel like at this point you should know. 4, as we see heated shot from Doubt, 4 Fetorias is a little much.
Yep.
But can he hold on, Dave? This is actually where Portuguese should shine.
Well,
when they
he's
don't have access to the
suddenly
middle.
got some resources in the bank, right? He's got some
There you go.
stone. He's got some army there. Going to Cavalier. He's got Trebs behind it. I think maybe instead of that Fetoria, the 4th one, he should have added some more Navy to prevent Doubt from pushing across.
He's trading, Dave. There's
He's-
a trade cart coming across the middle from Vinch.
Oh my God, yeah. Oh,
I don't know why it's there. He probably misclicked it when he went to the market. Oh my goodness. Doubt's getting his tower upgrades, Dave. So if he gets Bracer, he will, and his unique tech, he will then be able to range the bombard cannons.
and the turtle ships are doing work too. Doubt's added in a couple of those. They can do decent damage to the Trebs here. Hussar's still pushing in.
Not the best fight for Doubt there. His Trebs are exposed. Somehow doesn't lose one, but Vinchester's Trebs are exposed. And Doubt has more units on the way. Now, do you feel like you have to kill right now if you're Doubt? Or can you actually sit back and just kind of wait?
I think
Until
you
you
can
can tech
play
switch.
this methodically. I think you just keep getting your towers up, keep getting villagers on the middle to collect more stone, and just one step at a time keep pushing Vinch back, because the Fetoria are not too far away from that shoreline. If you get within
Yeah.
range of them, you can start sniping them with the Trebs.
Yeah, I think he realized that too. He was about to run in, and then he just calmly backed away.
He sees all 4 of
this-
them. Like, he knows exactly where they are.
That's another thing too. I mean, there's not a lot of space near the edge of the map, but I guess if you're going to make them, you probably, just in case, want to make them near the sides. But Vinch never thought he'd lose the middle, Dave. He never thought he'd be here. And so he's just trying to figure things out. Cavalier is actually one of the best things you can make with Feitoria Eco, because you get full Cavalier upgrades with Portuguese. But he doesn't have the upgrades, and Halb feels...
He needs some
very
food
weird.
eco too. Like, he
Yeah.
needs some villagers on food. He's got 7 on food right now.
You
like, there's-
can't just rely on Feitorias. He
He's-
had
well-
no farms this game.
He is, because he's going for a 5th one over to the right side.
He's committed now.
I want to see elite turtle ship here from Doubt. If he gets elite turtle ship, it's gonna be so tough for Vinchester to push back across. It's a good
Can you
upgrade.
tell me the stat difference? Does it go up to 100 attack?
I think it's
something?
75, I believe.
That makes more
Might be
sense.
60. But I
I
know
wanna
it goes up. I
see,
think it goes up to like 300 HP or 350 HP. 75 attack, yeah.
I want to see, and maybe he researched it, but the Yupseong tech, which gives the towers extra range.
He hasn't gotten it yet, though.
Yeah, I think he needs to get that. But, you know, I think this game ends very shortly. There's no way these Halbs can address the siege. There's no way. At least I don't believe so. And Doubt can just treb down all these castles and Fatorias.
Yep.
And then Vinch can't afford to rebuild them. And having them hasn't even done enough for him as it stands.
Doubt has done such a good job of keeping these trebs together, and when he starts a push, the buildings just melt.
Yeah.
Just completely melt. He's lost bombard cannons this game, but he has not lost a trebuchet yet. He's repairing that one in the front. He's got towers up in front of this. He's going to be able to take down the Fatoria, and I think Vinchester just got about 5 minutes too far ahead of himself with
Yeah,
the
he did.
Fatoria play.
Well, it's so easy to get baited into that. You just think, oh, okay, I have the Golden Stone in the middle, and I'm the only Civ that has a building that gives me more of those resources. Obviously, I'm going to win. Koreans have bad Hussars, so I'll be fine. But he was not fine. Doubt's patience, man, perhaps the best example of not trickle-trebbing we've seen. And that's what, 2 Fatorias down now, and
Wow.
Vinchester calls the GG. What a comeback from Doubt. That was the best game from him in this tourney, I feel.
That was really impressive. It didn't really feel like he did anything wrong that game. He played his build into galleys. He won the water early, and then when he realized his opponent had taken the middle and had Fatorias and was in a fantastic position for Portuguese, he displayed the patience.
Mm-hmm.
And he knew exactly what his win condition would be, which is taking back the middle. So he directed all of his attention towards that. Wow. Impressive stuff from Doubt, and Vinchester's going to need to pull something out here because it's 2-0 for Doubt, not the scoreline I would have expected.
Vinch needed that game, dude. He needed that game. I liked the imp, but relying only on the shorefish to get up to imp and then relying heavily on Fatorias, it's just not the play. I think if you go for a more boomy approach where you have at least like 10 to 15 farms, you have a bit more natural income with resources, you're completely fine there. Hussar never works. You can go for Halb. You can mix in Arbs. You keep your castles up a bit longer. But we said it, Dave. Like, that was not a game where Doubt was going to have more than one shot. He had one shot, one opportunity. His palms were sweaty, and he did it. And it was so clutch to see that. Like, I'm really wondering, and I'd have to go back. We don't have the time now. How much gold Doubt had when he started to come across the middle? Because I would guess that maybe he was completely out at that point.
Yeah, maybe. I know he
That
was
was nuts.
banking it really well on the way up to Imperial Age. He had like 1,200 when he reached Imperial. So
Yeah.
he was thinking about that. The landing didn't work in the north. And Vinchester, you just have to ask some questions like, should he have gone into more navy to hold the crossing? Should he have made towers in the middle or more castles in the middle to hold that? Should he have gone for that 4th Faitoria? I don't know. These are questions he's going to be asking himself because from that position, you should probably never lose there.
You go back to yesterday in the Doubt Leary series, and Leary, he won convincingly 2 games over Doubt, right? More convincingly than Doubt has won over Vinchester, let's say, in this semifinal so far. And then Doubt came back to win 3-2. Now, I know we're using Doubt as an example, maybe the wrong time, but it is possible, and we have seen reverse sweeps before. So if Vinchester wants to start the ball rolling, the next game has to be the one. I think it's doable for him to take it one win at a time here, Dave. And then you can ask those questions, win or lose, later on. We ask that. That's our job. But Vinchester should forget about game 2 and go to his final home map, which will be on Grapple.
Graupel, and I'm ready. Well, I'm getting into the game right now, so I should be ready in a couple seconds here. We're going to switch Vinchester to the red again, and it looks like Vinchester has gone for the Byzantines.
Okay,
And Doubt
Byzantines.
has gone for the Indians. Now, Indians were an early favorite for this map, but the more I see Byzantines, the more I love them here.
Yeah, I think you do have to play them a certain way, but this map's perfect for them. So 3, 2, 1, go. Game number 3. Let's see if Vinchester can turn it around. I mean, to quote Doubt when talking about him right now, who is this player, man? Who is this sick player? Through Miguel, through Velez, reverse sweep against Leary, and now 2-up against Vinch in the semis right now. This is amazing.
These are the settings that he thrives on, right? Where he has to use his creativity, use his ingenuity to come up with strats, and his adaptation as a player is incredible. Vinchester is kind of the same way, but he's struggling right now. Fortunately for him, he has Byzantines here up against the Indians, and I think the Byzantines are pretty good counter to most of the things the Indians can do.
Yeah, also both players with some really good TCs. I prefer Vinchester's. He's got the wood and he's got the gold there, plus a boar right next to this. So that's actually insane. Doubt's got wood. He's got gold, cool spy, shorefish, and boar as well. But yeah, Dave, I'm kind of with you. I think if this game goes on really long, even with Byzantines having cataphracts, that maybe Indians have the better units with cav archers, elephant archers, hussars, and all that. But overall, I think since this will probably turn into a little bit of a water battle at least, advantage Byzantines, and they can do a lot with a faster Imperial Age against Indians.
One thing I love on this map, a lot of it is about scouting, right? You got to scout where the resources are, but you also need to scout if your opponent is coming for a sneak. And Byzantines, it's easier for them. They get free town watch, free town patrol, and their vision by the end in the late game, from what we've seen, is basically like having spies a lot of the time on this map. It's actually insane. Plus, they can do a lot to counter the camel push from the Indians, or even if Indians go into cav archers or anything Indians really do.
Yeah, I would say the weakness of Byzantines. Well, first off, there's two things. The first one is probably their mobility. Not normally a civilization where you see them switching side to side. They normally like forward production buildings, forward castles, and pushing in that type of a game. So that could be a weakness because they are quite literally as far apart as they maybe could be, except maybe if it was corner to corner, it'd technically be further. So that's an advantage for Doubt, I guess. The other thing I'm curious about, and I'm surprised to say we haven't had this conversation this weekend yet, is the way Indians are typically played on Grapple, and it is to kind of give up the water and just go for shorefish and add tons of villagers with TCs. And I'm worried that maybe Vinch will prioritize water in this crazy way, and Doubt might not even care.
Yeah, Vinchester isn't the type of player, though, to really go too heavy on early water. He usually tries to get up to Castle Age a little bit faster. I'm looking at the scouting from both players. Vinchester has scouted his bottom corner there. Doubt is just picking up sheep right now with his transport ship. Stole a few from Vinch, and he's going to use them to scout his own area, but doesn't really know much else about the map. He does know where Vinch's dock is, which usually indicates the TC is going to be nearby. And he will know that he has a ton of room to work with because Vinch is so far away.
Yeah, really good dock spots. I like how Doubt's able to take the fish with the fishing ship and also his Vil.
Yeah, but this is going to be completely gone.
Yeah, it's true.
A second. I wouldn't have this villager over here. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good point. Vinchester actually has 2 fish, so it is better for the fishing ship efficiency. And then there's more fish out there, so if we see a few late aggression on water, typically we'll see a transport and a redock, which I really like, Dave. I like that little touch of having to use the transport ship to dock. We see it a little bit on Compass, but more so here, because I think the second dock spots are almost always going to be better if you dock the middle.
I just like the idea of like putting a man on this iceberg in the middle and saying like, all right, build us a harbor. build us a dock. Where's my wood? You don't have any. Make do.
And as the transport ship leaves, they'll be like, see you in a month. He's like, okay, see you guys. And then like 3 months later, he's out there freezing. Yeah. There's fires everywhere.
Somebody get me a shirt.
Or he's like, I need to be warm, and he sees a fire ship. He's like, oh, this will be nice, and then he dies.
Yeah, roasted.
Yeah, someone can make a little movie about that. But Vinch sees the dock now for Doubt. Doubt sees the dock for Vinch. Similar times here. Doubt with one more Vil. And that's actually a fishing ship right now. One more fishing ship for him.
Doubt is trying to lame the fishing ships from Vinchester again. We saw it on Compass. He did it. He tried to do it to Leary. Just went to the wrong side of the dock there as the fish come back. But Doubt is just going to sit there. And Vinchester badly housed. Oh my goodness.
Really bad.
5 villagers making that house. Yikes.
And that, guys, if you get a house like that, 29 seconds of TC idle time, you're -1 Vil. It is that big of a deal. And we stress a lot on Vil kills and fishing ship kills for a reason. But he's gone the shorefish, Dave, so that tells me that Vinch is going fast castle here.
He's got a decent shorefish setup too. Sometimes they're awkward, but he's got 6 villagers, taking them pretty close. So
Yeah.
he's going to get that food income in fast. Doubt is already going to the feudal age. And Doubt has not gone onto shorefish yet. And it looks like he's sending out a second villager to make another dock. So Doubt is going to prioritize water control against the Byzantines with the Indians. Interesting.
Yeah, this is the opposite of what we expected here.
Yeah.
We thought the Byzantine player would try and push home their fire ship advantage, which I still feel like should, in theory, be the way you play it. But Doubt's going to start off with docks, and it'll be about 50 seconds faster. Vinchester's actually switched up his build. He's taking gold, he's taking wood again. So I don't think Vinch is going to give up on water.
Yeah, and with Byzantines, even if you're later up, there's always a possibility, right? He is a minute later than Doubt, but all it takes is one good demo or a couple good fire engagements or repairing his ship at the right time, and he should be right back in it. He's actually loading up a villager. The man is going on an adventure to the iceberg. Likely? Maybe?
Now, where's he go, though?
He
Because
goes
if
to the
he
middle?
goes here, yeah, if he goes closer to Doubt's dock, and of course he doesn't know it's there, it's actually an advantage for Doubt. Got to build that thing. And he should complete that, but Doubt already... Oh, Doubt's making galleys, Dave, instead of fire ships.
Ooh. So he just wants to snipe the fish from Vinchester, but this could be... This is always a risk, right? Because if the fish are running in the other direction and you don't manage to snipe them, suddenly there's fire galleys there. Your galleys go down very fast, especially against Byzantines. Doubt was tracking the fish with his transport. So he's looking for those, and Vinchester is going to be able to find the dock from Doubt and go, okay, nope, we're going back this way. You'll see the galleys right away, too.
Also, this is so reminiscent of how Doubt won the final game against Lear yesterday. He opens up with something strong on water.
Finch?
So this forces the opponent to react, and look at the blue dot to the north of Vinchester's base, Dave. We're going to see a switch from Doubt.
Look at the red dot.
Oh, true. There's a sheep there.
If he-
Doubt's like, I'm not going to find the sheep. Did you see that? He saw the sheep, and then he decided against finding it. Oh, man.
Doubt is adding 2 more galleys. He's continuing with the galleys. He's going after the villager. Vinchester can hop in the transport, hop out, complete the dock, wait for the fire ships, repair the transport.
I know we joked earlier.
Oh, the sheep found the sheep found the barracks. The sheep found the barracks from the other
Ooh.
side.
I genuinely feel bad for this villager now. She's lived a rough life, and I wonder if Doubt will change something here, or if Vinchester will show us that he's noticed his sheep scouted that. Because while that's something that you do want to scout for,
It's hard
very
to
hard to
notice
pay
that.
attention to that.
Yeah, a little blue dot in the north there. It's kind of difficult to get your mind on that while you're focusing on taking down the fish and the galleys from Doubt. He is taking out some of the fish. Only 4 galleys on the water here from Doubt, so I think Vinchester should win water in this situation. Doubt is not adding anything more. Vinchester still thinking about bringing that villager across to finish that dock, maybe to repair the transport ship first.
But, you know, think about the amount of fishing ships that have been working here. Like, Doubt's got 2 working. It's been 0 working for Vinchester, right? So his 2 have been sitting on the side. So it's more investment from Vinch into the water and less reward, if you think about it. And then you've got a land switch now from Doubt. And if you look at Doubt's land deco, he's also on shorefish. So this is really good transitional work from Doubt.
Yeah, Doubt's going to show up with that archer. Doesn't have fletching yet, though. And he shows up, he sees the villagers, says hello, and then walks away before attacking. He's also got another archery range on the way. Vinchester hasn't really noticed that barracks up there yet. And he's just going to the shorefish, completely unconcerned, trying to win the water. He will have control over water, which is great. Still needs to worry about those 2 galleys running around. He should be able to deal with those.
Vinch is in big trouble, dude. This is really bad. Didn't notice it. Didn't even have an opportunity to sense it, right? He didn't sense a lack of investment from Doubt on water. That's 1 vill down. He's going to have to make a tower on his wood line.
Yep, doesn't have access to those shorefish either. Luckily, he does have fishing ships, but he's already lost 2 vills. He'll lose 3 here. Might even lose 4. Oh, my goodness. What a great play from Doubt.
Oh, good.
Yep.
Micro, the timing, fletching was in, Dave. He hit. It hurt. He could actually come back on water if he wants, but from here, I think just keeping your opponent off of shorefish while you have access to it's the big deal. And
Yep.
I'd just go up to Castle Age if I was Doubt.
Well, Vinchester is adding fishing ships. He's got 8 now. And I think he's going to deal with this final galley on this side. And Vinchester has gone for an outpost on the right. So he'll be able to see the mill now from Vinchester. Or from Doubt. And maybe he can do something about that.
He's like, guys, can I join your team?
Yeah.
I really don't like my team. I heard people are dying over there.
I think Vince should go and wall the right side of his base right now so he has access to that stone.
Dude, Vince got housed at least 4 times in Feudal. He got housed again, so he researched Wheelbarrow. Which Wheelbarrow doesn't even really... He can't even finish the house. But, like, Wheelbarrow doesn't really even help you on this type of a map, right? Wheelbarrow benefits farms more than anything. So Vinchester's in big trouble, man. I mean, he does have food, he does have wood, he does have gold. But there goes Doubt on the way up to Castle Age already.
Well, good thing for Vinchester, he's clearing up the docks from Doubt. So Doubt, if he wants to get back onto water and kill all this fish, he's going to need to redock in the middle, which is unlikely. He'll probably go for some land pressure. So if Vinchester can survive long enough, then the fish will take effect here. That's his only advantage over Doubt currently.
Look at Doubt, he's going to position these archers.
Right under
poorly.
the tower. I wonder if they're not within range once fletching comes in. I think that one will be at least.
Yeah, he's just going to sit them there and stand ground so he doesn't make the same mistake. And a skirm there from Vinch, who still needs to click up. Byzantines do have cheap skirms. I'm curious, though, what Doubt wants to do, because Doubt could do a lot of things. He could go for siege if he wants to. It looks like he's got a stable. I could also just go for a straight-up boom here with the cheap Indian villagers.
Yep. Skirms need to clear these archers up at the back, and then I think Vinch needs to wall between those 2 wood lines there and secure that stone, because a castle could defend you in Castle Age, and you have that villager forward too. So if he gets some knights out or something, and Doubt doesn't have anything at home, he could do a lot of damage. But he just needs to survive the push somehow from Doubt in the middle.
Dave, the preparation has just shown with Doubt's gameplay every single series. It's so good. He's been the fastest to these types of switches. We've seen so many players try sneaks. As Doubt loses the scout, that kind of hurts. So many players have tried this sneak, and then we have so many reasons why it shouldn't work. But when Doubt does it, it always seems to be at the proper time. He's going crazy siege push, it looks like, on this side. Mixing in the camel probably just to loop it around for any skirms that are out there.
Vinch, you need to wall there. You can't just throw skirms out there. Okay, Vinchester is finally on the way to Castle Age, uses the market a little bit. But Doubt is going to have these crossbows on the other side. He's got a camel looping around now, and he's going to have to abandon that stone pretty soon. Also, crossbows on the other side, Mangonel coming out. Vinchester has to back away from that. Vinchester, like, just needs to secure a wood line and the stone. He's going for a tower in between the 2.
Dave, I don't think I've ever seen a player penned this far back on this map, especially when they're this far apart. Like, that has not happened before. And Vinchester doesn't know what to do here. He's won water, and that's what his build order was about. But the land situation is awful for him as he does complete the tower, thankfully. So I think, hopefully for Vinch, his tower can range the crossbow.
He should be able to get out of here without a villager
good work
loss.
from Vinchester there.
Good micro, yeah. But he's going to have to be worried about the Mangonel now. He's a minute away from hitting Castle Age. He has had the fish behind this. And he's going for a cavalry upgrade, the armor. Okay.
Yeah, this is rough for Vinch. Vinch needs Doubt to focus. I mean, it's going to be bad for Vinch if this happens, but hopefully for Vinchester, Doubt's going to be looking at his TCs a bit more because there's the second TC, and then maybe there will be a mistake for Doubt in the front.
I'd love to see a stable from Vinchester with this villager up front. Obviously, you want to use your resources to defend, and you need to use them to defend, but I think a stable over there would provide great distraction. Just one knight in on the fish.
Doubt really hoping to take this tower out. It is now a Castle Age tower, so it has more HP. But Doubt doesn't seem to care about sending units under here. It almost reminds me of the hand cannons and the bombard cannons at the end of game 1. Happily running underneath the castle or tower fire, and there he goes. And don't kill your own units, Doubt. Okay, he does.
This is a lot of crossbows, though. Oh my goodness.
I mean, we've seen Doubt, and now we've also seen Doubt. That was a little sloppy. But the pressure's still paying off here, Dave. And there's no way for Vinchester to clear up that siege at the moment.
What is going on in the right corner here? Don't notice that villager finally. Vinchester will be running away from that. Doubt goes for a TC. Second TC in the bottom from Vinchester. That's the first, like, safe eco he's going to have.
Yeah.
And Vinchester has camels out here, and the crossbows are pretty weak, so the camels will be able to take out a few of them. There's reinforcements there, though. Camels will loop back to the Mangonels, and Vinchester might be able to survive if he takes out these Mangonels. It's going to be so close.
This repair villager, though, we talked about the dock villagers earlier, but we should be talking about the repair villager. She's been underneath towers. Now she's being shot, but she'll actually survive here. Wow, what great work from Doubt with the repair as he's on 3 TCs behind us. And Vinch is running with everything.
Vinch
He's
just
abandoning his
abandons.
main TC.
Yeah, abandons all there. Oh, boy. Villager count 54 for Doubt, 31 for Vinchester. He does have 12 fishing ships, but he's about to run out of food in the middle. He's forced to make fish traps, and that's wood that he wants to spend on something else.
Yeah.
Vinchester
Dude, it's-
only has the score lead, guys, as it switches right now because of water. Water gives you a
Yeah.
lot of score.
Yeah, I know a lot of people, obviously Vinchester's going to be focused on this game, but I bet you as he's running to the south, in his mind, he's not thinking about this game. He's thinking Fatorias.
Yeah.
Fatorias.
Yeah.
Fatorias. Why did I make 4 Fatorias? No, because, this is where that game really starts to hurt, right? If you lose this one after winning game 2, it's completely fine. You've still got opportunities to fight back. You've got home maps, but man, Doubt has made this look so easy, Dave. He's transitioned his farming eco away from shorefish so well. Look at the mills and farms everywhere. Such a good balance. He's got such great value from this crossbow mangonel attack.
And now he's going on to stone. So Doubt is thinking about a castle of his own, and Vinchester is not on stone because it's still cut off by the mangonel. I love that house there from Doubt. Look at that. Right in front of the mangonel. Units can't come in there as easily. TC will automatically fire at it. He's a thinking
beast,
man.
Yeah, that villager's still there. Still
But there's
waiting
an
to repair.
opportunity to lose his entire army to one mangonel from Vinchester here.
What? He's booming on 3 TCs now and noticed the first one. I mean, telling you, man, Doubt, it feels like he's just been getting better ever since game 3 of his set against Leary yesterday.
Good shot there from Vinchester, though. See if he can get another one. There's potential here against the Mangonel and the crossbows, and he's got cavalry behind this. Too many crossbows, though. Needs to avoid engaging against that. I think he picked off some of the reinforcements from Doubt, so he's managed to stabilize a little bit. It's 70 villagers for Doubt, 41 for Vinchester, although Vinchester has had 12 fishing ships. And now he's going for more fish traps.
Man, I understand right now it's looking really bad for Vinchester, and I never as a caster want to see a 3-0 in a semi. However, when I wake up in the morning, I want to see great execution, and we're seeing that from Doubt right now. He could do so much with this. He's not getting pop capped. He's adding the houses at the proper time. Outposts on the middle, thinking of a redock. Might see the relics come in. Might see so many different things. He's literally doing everything
Yep.
that he needs to do right now. There's not one tiny little detail, except for maybe wheelbarrow, that he's forgetting.
You know, Doubt fans watching this right now are going, Tristan, don't jinx it. Don't jinx it. Don't jinx it.
Yeah.
You're jinxing it.
Leary fans hated us after yesterday. Oh, jeez. Feels like a really rough time to get gill nets, Like, we're 33 minutes, Vinchester trying to catch up. Oh, God, he's getting gill nets, and here comes Doubt back on the water. Such a sneaky play from Doubt, but he knows that the fishing ships have got to be out there on fish traps.
And now Vinchester has to invest against this. He's sending
Yeah.
a counter raid over to the right side, finally. But Doubt will have double TCs there, and it's only a couple skirmishers and a spearman, so not really that much of a threat. Doubt even splits away from the mangonel shot, still loses a decent amount of crossbows, but has that pressure Vinchester needs to be careful of. And I guess the question for me is, can Vinch hold on long enough where the Byzantine advantages come into play in the late game? He's got 3 TCs now. He's got 56 vills, but Doubt is like 30-plus villagers ahead.
Yeah. Well, this is where not being next to Doubt really helps you, as Vinch gets a really efficient counter rate in with the Knight and Camels.
Yep.
Honestly, not a spot where you maybe stonewall the sides. I know you can't fully stonewall it, but if you can hold water if you're Vinch, and he is, I think, going to hold water, just stonewall to the water on each side, and the Vil difference might not make that big of a deal. And he's actually hit a big shot against Doubt, as finally the multitasking is catching up with him.
Yep. I mean, the last few minutes have been pretty good for Vinchester. He managed to
been.
stall out the push. He's getting a counter raid in now with the camels and the knights. He's going to kill a few villagers. He got War Galley. The gill nets have really kicked in here. That demolition ship could be really spicy for Doubt with all those fires stacked up, but it's not going to be enough to retake water. And Vinchester is at 63 vills. Doubt is still at 94, so it's kind of steadied the gap at 30 villagers, and he's kept the fishing ships alive.
Doubt somehow. I think he got a 1-for-1 with the siege. So he loops in with the crossbows. He's on his way to imp. But again, here, you've got stone if you're Vinch. I think you should stone wall the right, kind of where he's sending vills to make a house, and then just camp that area with your navy. Force Doubt, if he's going to take you back, to at least take water instead of land.
Doubt just lost his remaining crossbows, I think, as the mangonel shot comes in. And
Yep,
that's
yep.
the pressure there from Doubt. Completely cleared up. He adds another stable on that side, so he's sending more villagers forward. Goes for that
villager's still
castle.
there.
Vinchester notices the castle, but Vinchester only with fires can't really deny this.
I'm curious on what the HP on the castle is going to be. Not that it matters, but I feel like it'll be at 4,000 HP or something, because it's lost a lot on the way up here.
He can sit under that castle with a few of them. They're going to get
True.
converted
Force
by
murder
monks,
holes.
but both players
Yeah.
on the way to Imperial Age. Vinch has stabilized so well. And Doubt fans once again saying, Tristan, why did you jinx it?
I'm sorry. Well, you know what I keep thinking of right now? Remember that game that wasn't looking so good for Viper against Licks, game 1? And then suddenly, out of nowhere, he had 100 military because Byzantine things?
Yep.
You know, you don't necessarily need to have 120, 130 villagers with Byzantines. You can make a lot of army with them, so... Doubt comes over with 3 crossbows. Let's see if Vinch is paying attention to this. Attack ground? Okay.
I mean, is Doubt
Neither
paying
player-
attention to this?
Background?
Though? That's, yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's on to bigger and better things now. He's thinking about light cav. He's sending some vills over to join the forward villager in the corner.
This is a great game we have here. This is a
This is a
really
real good
good
game.
one. I'd love to see Vinchester get more on stone, though. I think he needs a castle, just even to
Yeah.
secure the left side, because there's going to be crazy pressure coming there from Doubt. And I'm not sure just a couple camels is going to be enough to deal with that. And of course, eventually he'll need a castle on the right side as well, as Doubt sends in more units. Doubt is trying to get back on the water. That's his opening here in Imperial Age.
Okay.
Wants to get access to that. Vinchester is up to 88 villagers. He hits him.
And Vinch notices, he's known for a while, ever since seeing that castle, that Doubt is opening back on the water. So I think Vinch can actually hold there. If you think of all the best grapple games, all the most successful strategies, it always stems to holding 3 corners for long enough.
Yep.
The game can go on for a long time because there's a lot of resources, but if you have 3 of the 4 corners, you're kind of preventing the opponent from expanding. So that is, I think, what Doubt has shifted into. I
Heavy
don't think he
camel on the
really
way
wants
from
to go for a
Vinchester.
finishing blow.
Heavy
That's a good
camel
tech here.
from the Byzantines. Cheaper camels for them, so it's great. Even though the Indians are known for their camels. And Doubt goes for a castle on the left-hand side there. Skirmisher camel for him over there. Ballistics on the way from Vinchester. He's adding in more war galleys. And still only 3 on stone, so it's not going to have a castle anytime soon.
I think this tells Vinch, buy a castle or go to stone right now. If he sees that, because
Ooh.
that's too close.
Doubt castle potentially. He house walls that one villager in. Does Vinchester have any range coming? Does he have any range at all? I don't think so. I don't think he can deny this.
That's the same Vil, bro. That's the same Vil that started all of this.
She's
the
a
6
troublemaker.
HP Vil.
Actually a troublemaker.
Oh my goodness. Well, come on, Vinchester. You need a response here. I don't think chemistry was in, so bomber cannons aren't on the menu for him. He actually went for bracer and a lot of range tech, Dave. But he doesn't even have arbalest yet. Just crossbow, as Doubt makes an elephant archer to defend from that, which is not even a meme, people. That's actually the unit you want to tank from some archers.
Okay, Rams are now pushing from Doubt. Only battering Rams, though. Hasn't got the Cap Ram upgrade yet. Handcart on the way from Vinchester, and he's got heavy camel, but they all just died in one of the worst fights I've ever seen, trying to loop around that tree. A little bit confused there. Vinchester still only 3 on stone. He's pop cap now, or housed at 155. Goes for the second armor upgrade. Needs something else.
Yeah, he's really struggling. He needs upgrades on his camels. He needs numbers of camels. He has to hold Doubt on water. He has to hold Doubt on land. Doubt's pressure has all caught up with Vinchester now. And Doubt actually has the better camels. So if he just goes for his own camels and he has better upgrades on them right now, he should win the fight. And with winning this fight, I mean, I don't know if you want to call it just yet if you're Vinchester, because this could be your final game, but you've got no control if you're Vinch. So I'm struggling to see enough from him that tells me he could push this back right now.
Well, he's got some crossbows on the right, and he managed to kill the Navy from Doubt. So
True,
that's
true,
something. He just can't deal with this stuff on the left. He's got more camels coming in. Okay, so he's going to be able to kill these heavy camels. But he's lost access to the stone over there, to his starting TC. He's going to have to fall further and further back into this corner. Still only at 574 stone. And
Yeah,
he's
you
having
can't take
having
any
housing
stone.
problems too, because Doubt is ramming down all his houses.
He's fixing that, Dave. He does actually have stone. So it's next to a stable. He probably just hasn't noticed it. And Doubt just continues to push on the left. And I think this is going to stem into Doubt either taking water or taking the right next. And I just like to see Doubt follow up every single... every time he gains a position, I just love to see him castle it.
Yep.
Just continue doing what you're doing. There's no reason to change that. You can't even argue that that's an overextension if the castle fails at this point, because you already have the corner.
Should win this fight here. Yeah, good fight for Vinchester. He's getting the final armor upgrade. He does have iron casting. Doubt only has forging. So Vinchester's going to be able to kill some of these rams, push back those camels for the time being, and goes for a 4th TC on the stone there. But a castle forward on the right side from Doubt. He sends the skirmishers now, and Vinchester's still without a castle.
It's so frustrating to be in Vinch's shoes, because anytime you go to address an army, Doubt can just fall back to a castle and wait till he pops up.
Yep.
You can't push it. And you would need Trebs. I mean, you would need conscription, Dave. Just that upgrade alone out of a castle, so you could produce units as fast as that would be helpful here.
Doubt goes for that castle, and Doubt now has galleons on the water here. So Vinchester at risk of losing his fishing ships. Vinchester now selling, Doubt buying, and Doubt getting Imperial Camel. Oh my goodness.
Maybe not the unit you would have expected here, because we know how good Byzantines are at countering that with Hald, but it's not that type of game. The Vinchester can't really tech switch into anything else right now. What he needs, he probably needs a good engagement against the heavy camels of Doubt before their Imperial Camel. Doubt won't even need siege, dude. I mean, he's making it, but Imp Camels shred buildings. So Doubt could just patrol in as he's doing. Keep taking out the buildings with Imperial Camel.
And then he holds the front with the galleons. Vinchester trying to go into some fires to push him back, but that's just too many galleons. One bombard cannon over on the left side from Vinchester, but his resources looking a little bit stretched, and the map control is being taken away as Doubt goes for another castle on the right side.
And he's going to patrol into the fight on the left, Dave. Vinchester would probably lose this fight, but he will definitely lose this fight once Imp Camel comes in. Every hit he gets before Imp Camel is helpful. And here it is. Big stat difference. 160 HP versus 120 HP here. The attack's different. And the numbers are there for Doubt. And I think Vinch is just kind of... He knows now. He doesn't want to accept that he's been swept here. He made it to the semis. He played so well to get here. But he's probably just as taken back by as many of the viewers are here with how clinical Doubt has been. Every single game.
Calls it.
Clinical.
Wow.
And Doubt moves on to the finals here. What is this?
If you're going to tell me this is a 3-0 series, I would say it's 3-0 for Vinchester, not Doubt, coming into this one. But Doubt is playing on another level right now. The Lord is into the finals, folks. It's been a year since Red Bull Wallow 3, right? It's been almost a year, Tristan? I think.
I honestly don't know. It could have been 3 at this point.
I think it was January or February last year, I believe. And that was the last time we saw him in a final. And here we go again.
And it will be a GL final. We know that for a fact. Doubt's in the finals. And then I think we've seen the GL preparation. That whole team has just been playing so well. I know Slam didn't make it as far as he wanted, but he was so close to moving on. And then the next semi is the Viper versus Tato. So I think the semifinal, the players are kind of gonna know each other and know what the strats are gonna be, and then the final later on, we'll see the same. But I'm still a little disappointed for Vinchester. I think game two specifically, he could have won that game. This could have at least gone to a fourth game. He could have extended the series, but that was still an incredible comeback from Doubt in game two. And this game, he just destroyed Vinch. It wasn't even close. He sniped the fishing ships. He expanded everywhere. The sneak villager, who's probably still alive over there, did work. Doubt left no doubt in our minds that he can win the finals at this point. He's beaten Leary, Velez, Vinchester, and Miguel on his road to get here. It's just insane.
Yeah, it's a really good run from Doubt, and he's going to be super happy with himself. I think the prize cut is like 2,000 more for getting to getting second place as well, over third and fourth. So good little jump there for Doubt, and we can look through the stats here. Doubt with just the better boom, the better army there early, and Vinchester just couldn't handle the push. Couple things could have gone right there for Vinchester if he noticed the barracks maybe a little bit earlier. He could have prepared something, was really caught off guard by the archers. And then the big thing for me, once he got to Imperial Age, he didn't have a castle, so he couldn't just fall back on one side and focus on the other one. He had to have military on both sides, and that really, really hurt him.
Doubt onto the finals. Vinchester still can hold his head up high. The most recent S-tier tournament before this, King of the Desert, he was second place. Here he ends up losing the semis. I think Vinchester's showing more and more that he deserves to be in the top 5 conversation, possibly.